Hi everyone, my name is Charlie, and today I have a currently reading video. So, I'm currently reading The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I started this after I became incredibly disenchanted with the 6 books that I read at the first half of November, and I don't know what it was. I just felt a bit drawn to read this book, and I thought, well, let's do it. If there's no point me trying to fill up this month reading loads of different books just to fill up a word count, just to fill up some sort of quota. And then I actually did end up stopping and reading some other books. For other reasons. Because one of them I'd seen mentioned on, I can't remember his channel. Anyway, I saw Steve, insert last name here, had read The Shepherd's Life, and you'll see that in my wrap up. I'll mention that in a wrap up. And so I stopped to read that and then got into some other books because I was about to hit 100 books for the year and I really wanted to do that. So anyway, The Wise Man's Fear is the second book in the Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss, the first being The Name of the Wind. These are incredibly popular fantasy novels and have been since they were first published. I think the first one came out 10 years ago now. Yes, definitely, because they're having the 10th anniversary edition. And I waited a long time before I read The Name of the Wind. And I read it, and that was a book where I got halfway through and then I began to dislike the protagonist a lot. And then I read it a second time and the same thing happened. And I don't know what it is about this second book, and I'm reading it for the first time, but I'm actually finding myself enjoying it more and being able to sympathise a bit with the character. And I think maybe I've gained a bit more of an understanding of the character, and I have this real liking for the world, and I really enjoy Quoth's, is that how you pronounce it? Quoth. His relationship with his friends, and I like that there's more of an ensemble cast within this second one. So I am finding that I'm quite enjoying this book so far. I'm currently 334 pages in, and I think it's about 900. It definitely goes into 990. Yeah, it's closer to 1000 than it is to 900, and I'm hoping to finish this in the month of December. It might be the only book I do get around to reading because I have got quite a fair bit of overtime this month, with it being Christmas and it being our busiest period of the year. However, should I finish reading this at some point in the month, I would like to read A Christmas Carol and get to the 2 Harry Potter illustrated editions that I haven't read yet. And yeah, there's definitely a few books that I'd like to read. I did consider doing Angie's idea of 30 books in 31 days, but I know that I just don't have the time to do that. So I think just sticking to one rather large book, taking my time and enjoying it, is probably better than not enjoying the mediocre books that I've really focused on a lot this year. Maybe that should be... I might talk about that in a different video, whether I think I've become more critical of what I'm reading or whether I'm just noticing more similarities because I'm reading more fiction now than I was, and I'm reading more adult fiction. And I'm not... When I started this channel, I was still reading young adult fiction, and I know that I've still read spots of it here and there over the last few years, but it's nowhere near my main focus, like it used to be. And also neither is fantasy, so going back and reading a fantasy book every now and then is actually quite nice. And I do think that in the new year I might focus somewhat on finishing the fantasy series that I have on my shelves, because I've only read one Robin Hood book this year, and I have several to get through. And I know of friends who have actually come to the series after I started it and really enjoyed it and got further than me, because I don't know, I was really let down by The Golden Fool, and that didn't leave me wanting to read Fool's Fate. But I know that that's Sam's favourite book out of the series, and I think I just need to sit down, get my arse in gear, and get it done. So yes, this is The Wise Man's Fear. This is what I'm currently reading, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. What are you currently reading? Tell me in the comments, because it's nice to get book recommendations and see whether you're really enjoying stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, that is all.